Hello students, now we are back with chapter 1 of history SST how, when and where. So as you know that according to you history is a very boring. So now I'm going to make it very easy with notes for you. So now let's get started with this chapter. So first topic is how important are dates. There was a time when historians were fascinated with dates. There were heated debates about the dates on which ruler will crowned or battles were fought. In the common sense notion, history was synonymous with dates. As soon as we compare the past with the present, we refer to time. We talk of before and after. Living in a world we do not know, always ask historical questions about what we see around us. We take things for granted, but most of us have our moments of wonder when we are curious and we ask questions that actually are historical. Watching someone sip a cup of tea at a roadside tea stall, you may wonder when did people begin to drink tea or coffee. Looking out of the window of a train, you may ask yourself when were railways built and how did people travel long distances before the age of railways. Reading the newspaper in the morning, you may be curious to know how people got to hear about things before newspaper began to be printed. But time does not have to be always precisely dated in terms of a particular year or a month. People in India did not begin drinking tea one day, they developed a taste for it over time. Similarly, we cannot fix one single date on which British rule was established, or the national movement started, or changes took place within the economy and the society. All these things happened over a stretch of time. Why then we continue to associate history with a string of dates? This association has a reason. There was a time when history was an account of battles and big events. It was about rulers and their policies. Historians wrote about the year as a king was crowned, the year he married, the year he had a child, the year he fought a particular war, the year he died, and the year the next ruler succeeded to the throne. They look at how people earned their livelihood, what they produced and ate, how cities developed and market came up, how kingdoms were formed and new ideas spread, and how cultures and society changed. Which dates a second topic rises. By what criteria do we choose a set of dates as important? The dates we select, the dates around which we compose our story of the past, are not important on their own. They become vital because we focus on a particular set of events as important. These histories begin with the rule of the first Governor General Warren Hastings and ended with the last Viceroy Lord Mountbatten. In separate chapters, we read about the deed of others Hastings, Wellesley, Bentinck, Dalhousie, Canning, Lawrence, Lytton, Ripon, Curzon, Harding, Irvine, etc. When we write history or a story, we divide it into chapters. Why do we do this? It is to give each chapter some coherence. It is to tell a story in a way that makes some sense and can be followed. In the process, we focus only on those events that help us to give shape to the story we are telling. In the histories that revolve around the life of British Governor Generals, the activities of Indians simply do not fit. They have no space. What then do we do? Clearly, we need another format for our history. This would mean that the old dates will no longer have the significance they earlier had. A new set of date will become more important for us to know. Now, our next topic is how do we periodize? In 1817, James Mill, a Scottish economist and a political philosopher, published a massive three-volume work, A History of British India. In this, he divided Indian history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British. This periodization came to be widely accepted. They show how we see the significance of the change from one period to the next. Mill thought that all Asian societies were at a lower level of civilization than Europe. According to his telling of history, before the British came to India, Hindu and Muslim despots ruled the country. Religious intolerance, caste taboos, and superstitious practices dominated social life. Mill felt they could civilize India. In this idea of history, British rule represented all the forces of progress and civilization. The period of British rule was one of the darkness. Can such a conception be accepted today? According to me, it's no. In case, can we refer to any period of history as Hindu or Muslim? So, according to me, if we live together, so there will be no period of Hindu or Muslim. We should also remember that even rulers in ancient India did not all share the same faith. Moving away from the British classifications, historians have usually divided Indian history into ancient, medieval, and modern. This division too has its problem. It is a periodization that is borrowed from the West, where the modern period was associated with the growth of all the forces of modernity: science, reason, democracy, liberty, and equality. Medieval was a term used to describe a society where these features of modern society did not exist. Can we uncritically accept these characterization of the modern period to describe the period of our study? As you will see in the book, under British rule, people did not have equality, freedom, or liberty, nor was the period one of the economic growth and process. Many historians therefore refer to this period as colonial.